Dell S2721DGF versus the Samsung Odyssey G7. Hi friends and welcome to Viktors Reality. Today I have my first of many versus videos. Today's video we have the Dell S2721DGF versus the Samsung Odyssey G7. Here with the quick specifications, the Dell is a 1440p 165Hz panel, 98% of the DCI-P3 color coverage with LG Nano IPS technology built in, and with its rated HDR 400, versus Samsung's 1440p 240Hz panel at 95% of the DCI-P3 color coverage on a Samsung VA panel at a rated HDR 600. Look how beautiful the colors look on both panels. I do have it to start off the video at a side view just so you can see how it looks at flat versus the curved. Now the G7 is really about 2 steps to the right. That's how I set up the monitor. But the S27 is really 3 steps. I did it that way on purpose to show you that the IPS technology here on the S27 is amazing and still retains more color and information at more of an angle than the G7. On the S27, the colors just pop. Everything is just crispy with the color, while already at 2 steps to the side, the G7 is starting to lose its color and it's starting to get a washed out look. Now I say starting, it's not washed, it's not bad, but it's starting to get there, while the S27 is perfectly fine. And this is really important for people who need these panels for work or web browsing. When you're at an office, you do have 1, 2, 3 people sit next to you, so that is something to note when comparing or shopping for a panel. Here are some more videos showing you the colors. They're very similar. Here also again with the city skyline. While you might think the G7 looks better, but the S27 does retain more information at a wider viewing angle. That's what I'm showing here. Also look at the G7. You see that top tower? You see that little haloing, that little blooming, that flashlighting? That is local dimming on the panel, and I wanted to show that at an angle at 2 steps to the side, you will start to notice that, you will start to see that. The camera is picking it up perfectly, and that's about how much you really see from an angle with your own eyes. Now let's go to normal viewing. Here is a nice picture that I have created. It's a Christmas time picture. You can see the fireplace with the Odyssey GPU that I haven't even released this video. Can you believe that? Now, this is a beautiful image. Everything is crystal clear on both monitors, and it goes to show the size difference of the Odyssey G7 versus the S27. Now it's a 32 on the right versus a 27 on the left. Is that important to you? Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but it is a massive difference once you have them in front of you. And I would say on the 27 you could sit 1 to 2 feet from the panel, while on the G7 32 you do need to sit about 2 to 3 feet so you don't get eye strain. Here are some more pictures on both panels. Can't wait to play Dragon Quest. That's going to be amazing on Game Pass. Everything's looking beautiful. Here are real dark images. You can see it right there. VA wins, but this IPS holds its own. And if you do have ambient lighting, you should have no issues whatsoever with the contrasty image. Here's another trailer with the Ratchet & Clank coming out early next year on the PlayStation 5. This game does look amazing. I wanted to show the colors that both can produce here. And the thing is, these images are more clearer in person. If you get either of these, they're going to look a lot more clearer in person because YouTube does compress the video. It doesn't matter which panel you get, you're going to get a winner regardless, because these are beautiful panels and they just pop out so much color, so much contrast, and it really depends on what you need. I would say for work, for web browsing, for an office, for a school, for a living room family computer monitor, I would say the S27DGF wins hands down, as it offers so much value in all those categories. If you want a console gaming monitor with entertainment in mind, the Samsung Odyssey G7 is the better bet, because it's so immersive when you watch your videos, especially with the VA contrast with that local dimming turned on. Now, it's not the best local dimming compared to a TV. It does improve the overall contrast of the panel with a close to 4,000 rated contrast according to ratings.com when you adjust the presets. But the LG Nano IPS panel does look beautiful, and the main thing is the wide viewing angles. And you might think, I'm not going to play at the side, that doesn't matter to me. Well, the thing is, see, when you're editing, when you're, have a TV on the side and you're back and forth watching TV, getting up to go do something, and you come back, the LG looks beautiful from all angles. It really does. And it's convenient if you're web browsing, if you're paying your bills, if whatever. It looks beautiful from all angles. And you could have 2 people sitting next to each other working on something, while on the G7, because it's curved, 2 people on the G7, it does start to get washed out especially at 3. That is something to note if you're considering these two different types of panels. And just confirming, like in my other videos on the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, here is the information I put on the screen so you can see what is supported, what is not. But the main thing here is that the Odyssey G7 does allow a 4K signal acceptance on the Xbox Series X and S and the PlayStation 5. That is if you want to send a 4K signal to the monitor and the monitor will scale it down to 1440p, or in the sense of the Xbox Series X, you can also set it at 1440p with its built-in scaler and send a direct signal of 1440p at 120Hz to your monitor. The Samsung Odyssey G7 can display it with no problems. And also on the PlayStation 5, the Odyssey can handle it with no problems, but on the S27DGF, unfortunately, it does not accept a 4K signal on either the Xbox Series S or X or PlayStation 5. That is something to note if you really wanted a 4K 60Hz image and you're trying to find an all-around do-it-all monitor. The Samsung Odyssey G7 is more expensive and does allow it. But on the Xbox Series S and X, you don't need that. It'll shoot out an image at 1440p at 120Hz with VRR. There is no issue there. Unfortunately, the PlayStation 5, as of the time of making this video, does not have a 1440p display option. It only has a 1080p or 4K resolution option. So hopefully Sony hears us and does enable a 1440p option in the future through a software update. And they have said on Twitter that the more people who ask, they will consider adding that in the future. Leave a comment down below stating if that is important to you. But personally, it does scale beautifully on the S27 from 1080p to 1440p of the monitor. It does do it beautifully. It's super clear. In my other videos with Spider-Man, with Call of Duty, everything looks crystal clear on the S27. That's due to the LG Nano IPS technology, making the color pop, the color vibrance, the contrast, the motion, everything looks beautiful. And again, everything is amazing on both panels. You can't go wrong with either. It's just that the Odyssey G7 does allow more features and can display more options. This is one of many versus videos of the Dell S2721DGF monitor versus the Samsung Odyssey G7. They're both beautiful panels. You can't go wrong with either of them. It's honestly if you want a 27-inch or a 32, if you want a flat or a curve, the color is about the same. The brightness is about the same. The thing is, the Odyssey G7 does have more brightness at its rated HDR 600 versus the HDR 400. Plus, its local dimming does work to make the images pop more with highlights. It's nothing to go bragging about that I have the best local dimming on a monitor. No, it's not. It gets the job done. It's a nice feature, and I hope they do improve that in the future, because that is something that we all need. Besides better color and better brightness, we do need better backlight technologies with local dimming, and of course better VA panels. But the local dimming and fast local dimming is truly what would take these monitors to the next level. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did find it helpful, please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on a future Dell S27DGF or Samsung Odyssey G7 video. I'll see you guys next time.